Attorneys for the Justice Department will be busy today with hearings on several controversial issues. In one of the most contentious cases, U.S. District Court Judge James Boasberg is expected to determine if the Trump administration violated his orders not to deport Venezuelans under the Alien Enemies Act. The president has called for Boasberg to be impeached and has referred to him as a, quote, activist judge. CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman joins me here in Studio 55. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
All right, so if this judge determines that the DOJ violated his orders, what are the consequences?
Vlad, so there's the potential for the judge to hold someone or the Justice Department in contempt. That could be civil contempt or criminal contempt. And this hearing today to show cause is a final step in that process. It's for the government to tell the judge why they did not violate his orders. But civil contempt could involve fines, it could involve possible imprisonment, or if the judge determines that there's a different remedy he wants to choose there. For criminal contempt, there would be an additional proceeding, and normally that's referred to the Justice Department itself. But if they didn't want to comply with that, if he decides to move forward, the judge does have the option of hiring private attorneys or appointing them as special prosecutors. So those are some of the options. But of course, first, the judge is going to make a determination about whether he thinks they did, in fact, violate his order knowingly.
So when we say that there could be consequences, there could be accountability, who are we signaling out? Like, I mean, the DOJ, is it the person who actually gave the order? Is it Stephen Miller? Is it Steve Bannon? Like who? Who's going to, who's going to, I'm trying to understand this.
Vlad, I think that this is the big question that's really up to the judge. He could say the lawyers, he could determine it was someone within the Justice Department, potentially someone with DHS, but we're really speculating at this point who he would think was responsible here.
Wow, fascinating. All right, there's also another hearing that's going to be held in the case of that Tufts University student who was basically abducted from the streets of Boston. What are we hearing about that?
So there's a hearing today in her case, and this is very similar to the Mahmoud Khalil case, the pro-Palestinian activist from Colombia, where the first question has become, is this case taking place in the right court? Because her lawyers are asking for her release. It's called a habeas petition. But what the government is saying is because she's currently detained in Louisiana, which is where they're sending a number of these students that they've arrested, that is the proper venue for this case. Louisiana is also within the Fifth Circuit. That's a very conservative court circuit. So this is likely why the government wants the case to take place there. What her attorneys say is it should either be in Massachusetts, where she was arrested, or in Vermont. And what's very similar here is that, like Mahmoud Khalil, she was moved multiple times after she was arrested. She was taken in Massachusetts, put in multiple detention centers in Vermont. But what her lawyers say is, one, they had no way of knowing where she was. They were not getting any information. So Massachusetts should be the right venue. She was with Massachusetts ICE officers for a lot of this time. But if not, it should be in Vermont. So that's really the first threshold here before other decisions can be made in this case.
Wow, fascinating. That's happening today, right?
That is happening this afternoon, yes.
All right, Katrina Kaufman, thank you very much as always, my friend.
Thank you, Vlad.